You are okay, sir. That's okay, sir.
Wow, people
Yeah,
are
thank
already
you very
coming
much.
in.
So, Doc,
Okay.
I am not more than 5 minutes waiting, and it is about 6 minutes waiting now.
Okay,
So
here.
just let's get ourselves together and let them. Since those who are here, they have agreed to that,
Okay, sir. So we are
allow
going
latecomers to hold us back. Thank you.
to hit the ground running.
Yeah.
Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, depending on where you are hearing us from, everyone. We'd like to welcome the erudite scholars here for this 3 days intellectual engagement that is going to communicate to us a great sense of work for which we feel is just the way to go. Want to acknowledge the presence of Dr. or Professor Akindele Ishola, who is readily on ground, and who again? We have
Mrs. Dorcas.
Mama Dr. Reverend Mrs. Dorcas Adewoye. We have our elder professor in the house, is our lead. And then we have a mama who is not showing her name. She's wearing red dress. We don't know
Yes,
who
it's
she is. Her name is not showing, so we don't know.
Mrs. Ajasa.
Oh, that's our own one and only Mrs. Ajasa Badejo.
Yes,
Wow, you are looking younger.
thank you, sir.
Good to
Welcome.
have you here. Good
Thank you, sir.
afternoon, good evening, everyone. So, like Dr. Sanders said, we are going to hit the ground running because we like to keep to our time, 1 hour per day. And we believe at the end of each day is going to be a huge lot for a take home for every one of us. So, what are we here for? Why are we here? What are we doing these 3 days? And what is the necessity for that which we are doing? You must have one way or the other received this e-pager. You must have had it sent to you somehow on or WhatsApp or wherever. What we are doing is simple. Behavioral health fundamental is so critical. Psychology and a huge lot of sense for which we are saying enough of just the talk alone. What do we really have as psychologists, psychiatrists, mental health experts, people in the care arena? Is there the possibility for us to deep into ourselves to see what we have to offer for services and for products? How do we dignify our identity by optimizing productivity? How do we ensure that society identifies us, recognizes what we're doing, and give us the pivotal place of existence? How do we ensure that we gain acceptability, not by coercion, but by conviction, and bring our services to the very critical mass that need it, where we are not only accepted, but delighted in and also adored? Where is the dignity of labor and service for the psychologists, clinical psychologists, behavioral health experts, psychiatrists, and the rest of it? How do we go against go outside, overcoming the issue of stigma and the cliche attached to some of our work. So noble a career and profession we're doing, but in this side of the world, how do we stop playing the second fiddle? How do we domesticate our services on various platforms, earn a living, make money, and as well take care of ourselves via what we do? How do we remove the cliche around mental health from being seen as only on the aspect of psychopathology, as Dr. Mustafa would say, as being only an issue having to do with maladaptivity, when psychology has nothing less than 50 branches and the like? How do we bring all of this to the fore so that we can showcase what we know as we grow it through a popular trend of the know, grow, show strategy? So we have a highlight, understanding the differences in individuals, which we are handling today. What about the psychological behavioral checks for societal health? Is medical check complete? Necessary, but is it sufficient? How about community health? What's the expanded version of it? How do we check for health? Neck up and neck down, so that counselors, clinical psychologists, and a whole lot would develop competencies and bring value to table. So this evening, I'd like to introduce to us our main guest and chief guest, the popular Ebora of psychology, our elder, a lead presenter on various fora, a man who is so huge and passionate about service to humanity, especially when it comes to getting the facts straight, helping people to become their best version. So to get the ball rolling this evening is Dr. Mustafa Toyin Sambe, who is already present in the house. I'd like to take a citation as we hit the ground running. So welcome me to his citation. Citation. Dr. Mustafa Toyin Sambe is a prominent Nigerian academic and researcher who has made significant contributions to the field of education and psychology. Dr. Sambe began his academic career, at the Lagos State University, LASU, where he earned a bachelor's degree in education, 2002. He earned a master's degree in adolescent psychology and youth counseling, which is counseling psychology, from the University of Ibadan, a Master of Philosophy degree MPhil in clinical psychology, and Doctor of Philosophy degree, PhD in clinical health psychology from OAU Ile-Ife, 2019. He has authored and co-authored numerous academic papers and book chapters. One of Dr. Sambe's most notable achievements is his pioneering work in the field of emotional intelligence. He has conducted extensive research on the concept of emotional intelligence and has developed a number of innovative approaches for measuring and assessing emotional intelligence in individuals. Dr. Sambe has received numerous awards and honors throughout his career. He has served as consultant Sorry. He is a fellow of the Counseling Association of Nigeria, FCASN. Dr. Sambe has also been an active member of his community and has worked to promote education and social development in Nigeria. He has been honored as Asiwaju Adini of Al Mubarak, among others. He has served as consultant to many organizations, including the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS, and the Nigerian Leadership Initiative, NLR. He has served and still serving as subject matter specialist psychologist in many mass communication outlets such as AIT, Kakaki, NTA Network, NTA 5, NTA 10, LTV 8, 99.3 FM, among several others. He is a specialist psychologist in emotional intelligence, individual and family psychological well-being, and Dr. Sambe holds full membership status of the following professional association: Nigerian Association of Psychologists, NACP, Nigerian Psychological Association, NPA, and Counseling Association of Nigeria, CASN. He is popularly known as the Ebora of psychology among Nigerian psychologists. He is retired from Federal Neuropsychiatric Hospital, Yaba, as principal clinical psychologist. Dr. Sambe is the first and current university counselor, Summit University of Kwara State. Ladies and gentlemen, without much ado, here in the house, what a pleasure to let you know that we have no any other person to kick the ball rolling than the Ebora of psychology himself. Please, with a round of applause, let's welcome Dr. Mustafa Tony Sambe to take us this evening. Thank you so very much. The floor is yours, sir.
Thank you very much, Dr. Komolafe and members on the platform. I am indeed exceptionally privileged to have people like Professor Ishola Kindele here present, Mrs. Shonola. We are grateful for your presence and a host of other members who are here. Mrs. Adewoye Dorcas Onyade and Mrs. Ajasa Badejo, according to Dr. Komolafe. And indeed, we are grateful to Dr. Komolafe for facilitating this and spotlighting me to take the pioneering role of addressing the first day. Thank you. Having said that, we should be grateful to God that as fellow Nigerians, everything we do Godism. We hope that someday we'll take it to spirituality that will help us to understand individual differences and differences in individuals so that we can tailor needs according to individual, community, and family and individual needs. I am already on the page of understanding differences in individual. Ladies and gentlemen, it has pleased the creator of man and the universe with its content to recognize and stimulate our thoughts and words of reality to appreciate the fact that we are individually different. We may be members of the same family as human family or animal family, just as we have in the cat family. You have cheetah, you have puma, you have jaguar, you have leopard, you have lion, you have lynx, you have tiger, yet you have the domestic cat. Between you and I, we should recognize that the characteristics of these animals that belong to the same family are distinct and classically different. By extension, still within the animal family, we have the crawling animals called some snakes, some crocs, and so on, or generally reptiles. Their characters, their conducts may look generally as seen as crawling, but I'm sure you will recognize that the effect of a snake bite is different from the effect of a croc bite. All of these are pointing towards individual differences. Now let us globally look at animals, the family to which man belongs. We have the omnivores, we have the herbivores, and we have the carnivores. Omnivores are those who can eat anything from paper to nylon and whatever. Classically, rats is a common neighbor that we can relate to. Herbivore, sheep and goats, that will take only herbs. Their dentition differs, their conduct differ. And carnivores, those who can eat living animals and so on. All these are dynamics and pointers to differences in individuals that constitute and compose our environment. Let us now take it to human being. I'm sure practically all of us that I can see on this platform, we are either belonging to male or female, mother or father or parent. Having more than one child would have indicated or pointed us, if we are very observant, that a child might like Indomie more than rice. And another one will prefer eba to amala. All of these are classic individual differences, still within the same family. And the mother who is feeling this extent, the idea behind this presentation is to prepare us for learning, prepare us to unlearn certain ideas that we have had before coming into this system, and now gradually diffusing to relearn by dumping certain things that we have learned so that we unlearn them, and then we can relearn by adding value to our presence in this gathering. Let us move forward to recognize that scientifically, it has been proved that fingers are not equal. In other words, even as many as we are on the surface of the earth, no two thumbprints are the same. This further epitomized the differences in others, which if we do not have the grasp of understanding the differences in others, we may miss the meat, or what in Lagos parlance called koko of knowing and recognizing and practicing empathy, which is a major component that is relevant in the training, teaching, and equipment of people who are willing to learn and understand and practice emotional intelligence. Going forward, Understanding differences in individuals is not limited to educational setting, and it is not limited to health setting, where, for example, an individual may be diagnosed, or two individuals may be diagnosed for depression, for example. And I can tell you for free that they are likely, if even they are going to be prescribed with the same medication, they are more likely to be given different dosages. And sometimes modes of administration might differ based on the underlying understanding of differences in individuals. As we might be members of the same family, some will be short, some will be tall, some will be light complexion, some will be dark, and some will be regarded as white, some will be yellow. It still does not mean that certain physiological processes are not unique to us at individual level and at a global perception. For example, going by the Afrocentric psychophilosopher who had said, nǹkan tó ń ṣe lémi bàjẹ́ kò ṣọmọ ẹ̀, lémi bàjẹ́ ń kígbe owó, ọmọ ẹ̀ ń kígbe ọkọ. Lémi bàjẹ́ is the mother yearning for money, and the child, the daughter, is yearning for a spouse. Therefore, based on this, there are individual needs that are different, that is making them to be individually different in thoughts and in concepts and percepts. Should you, by error, entrust money to Lemibaje's daughter, and unfortunately around that time, a young person is coming around, or a toaster is coming around to say, if you want me to marry you, I think you need to give me some money, or let us use this money for this and that. I'm sure Lemibaje's daughter will fall, using our common parlance, yakata for that. However, any man coming around Lemibaje, the mother, who is going to be talking about, I love you, hey, be my darling. Lemibaje's perception or first inquiry will be something like, you want to marry, how much do you have? How much do you think you can have to have me? You can see that the pattern of discourse, thoughts, percepts and precepts are different. To this extent, we are to understand the differences in individuals. And when we are talking about differences in individuals or individual differences, we are not only talking about physical, we are not talking about physiological, we are talking about their mental processes, their emotions. You will see that certain individuals within the same family, the child might perceive the environment as soon as there is no electricity. It has to be, mommy, let us go and put on generator. Or the other way around, mom will be the, hey, Jane, go and put on the generator. Where is John? However, when it comes to meal period, the mother might prefer the meal lukewarm, and John may prefer his own to be smoking hot. All these epitomize individual differences and characterized differences in individuals. We have come to see that even in skin texture, people of the same family may not have the same skin texture. Color of the hair, eye eye color. All of these are dynamics of individual differences that are even internationally used to strategically identify individuals in health or ill health. The working steps of an individual within the same family and across culture, the way individuals in cultures think, stereotypes, all of these are issues of concern that psychologists who understand the differences in individuals will be able to help to spotlight the concerns that, yes, there are differences in individuals, in culture, in diet or food, in terms of housing, in terms of transportation. For example, you won't expect, as much as possible under normal condition, a riverine-based community to want to do very well with road transportation. But try them even in swimming engagement. The person who is a landlord will not be able to match the sea lord. The same way, cheetah could be the fastest animal on land, but I don't want to think that it will compete with the fish in the ocean. So these are individuals that are different in different domains. Our languages differ. And essentially a bonding mode for individuals or groups of individuals, language cannot be watered down. Most of the people that I find on this platform, I want to assume, have been into terrains outside of their family background. They will be able to see, albeit even much better now that we are discussing, that once they are meeting another individual in a strange land that can speak the language that they can relate to, it will just look as if God had sent an angel to the individual. These are dynamics of what we need to understand in differences in individuals. The rate, like when I was in Ghana for a conference, I was spotted to address some postgraduate students from Methodist University. In fact, that was the first time I was going to know that there is a Methodist private university owned by Methodists. Meanwhile, I was thinking that Methodist in Nigeria is really very grounded. I am yet to see Methodist University. I should be willing to learn. And then do they have it in Nigeria? Hello?
Not too sure.
Hello, yes. They have one around the Ondo State.
Wow.
Okay.
But not
Has it been approved? Has it been approved? What's the name?
That I do not know.
Oh, research continues. It's okay. That is the essence of this interaction, so that we can be adding knowledge. Thank you, Ma. We'll look at that. So the students, I just asked them, look through the window and identify, write down anything you can see. And guess what? All of us are looking through the same space, but definitely to highlight differences in us, you will see that we will write one or two things that are not the same in a write-up. The question that prompted that response was a lady asked me that she had lost her husband and she's carrying on with her life, while some of our own colleagues who lost their husbands equally have been down and broken and have not been able to pick themselves up. I said, if it were to be an examination, if the lady is going to write this character or conduct or behavior that the others are exhibiting, should be looked from one, individual differences, and now start highlighting perception, background, nature, nurture. Individual differences, I must tell you that is a whole big one, that there are specialists, psychologists who are specialists in individual differences. For example, our tongue will respond to taste differently. Some of us cannot perceive odor equally. Don't perceive odor at all. Some have ears, they are not hearing well. These are dynamics of individual differences. And I want to pause here so that I can go on to the psychological behavioral checks for societal health. I hope that is okay, Doc, or we should just take this for today to stimulate questions and answers.
Go on, sir, so that we can have the full dosage of what is available.
Oh, okay, sir. Thank you very much, sir. The second microtitle that we want to look at is psychological behavioral checks for societal health. In psychological health, we have come to see, understand, and know that there is no societal health without family health. And there is no family health without individual health. And in reverse, nobody can be sick without the society being sick, without the family being sick. In other words, when we are presenting individuals in ill health, you see, we look at the background of this individual. From pre-conceptual stage, at the point where the father, mother are courting or getting to marry. Let me give you a classic clinical case that I saw. A young boy of about 15 years old. The parents were complaining that he's maladaptive in behavior. And when I was going to interact with the mom, guess what? The pregnancy of this boy was in context, and it is made known to this boy. So when the mother was going to give the interaction response at the presence of this boy, and she got to that stage of the father didn't, at first the father didn't accept the pregnancy. I says, please, madam, stop, let the boy excuse us. And the mom said, he knows, please, he knows. So imagine an individual, a young boy, even within the circle of educationists or psychologists, age of 15 is teen, where they are just discovering themselves, where home is considered alien and unfriendly, where gangs and groups are the dens or the affiliation or attraction to them. Now recognizing or appreciating that the fact the mother and the father never wanted him in the first instance, how can he give them peace? How can he be happy? how can they not understand that they have sown the seed of discourse, that they have murdered sleep, so they can't sleep? And this boy told me that his father never knew him, his father never understood him. And I said, are you sure? He said, yes. I said, I will call the father. Can you say it again? He said, yes. And I pulled a call through. And I introduced the topic that, yes, the chap that you paid for and the mother there before me, they were referred to me from Port Harcourt. So when I saw, and I told the father that, sir, the young boy before me is saying that you don't know him, you don't understand him. And the father confirmed that yes, it is true that he doesn't understand him, he doesn't know how he thinks, he doesn't know what he wants. I said, it's okay. And the boy too, tell your father what you said to me, that you hate him. He doesn't want to see you, this and that. So the point I'm making is the individual health snowball or accelerate or make way for family health. A sick family is already a work in the mills for sick society. And just as we say equally in mental health, we say mental health is community health. In other words, what are the things that will now make for us to check for psychological health, so that we know that checking for physical health or medical checks is not sufficient. You have to be healthy, neck up, neck down, and sure-footed, brilliant stepping forward.
Wow.
In the name of behavior.
Wow.
And this can be crystallized or summarized in looking at it from the fact that for you to be considered as healthy, it's not equal to physical health. You need your mental health, you need your emotional health, and you need the understanding of individuals, that it is what an individual has that it can give, that dirty water still doesn't stop the growth of the plant. I want to thank you for your attention. I am open. Thank you, sir.
Wow, wow.
Dr. Komolafe, over to you.
Wow, wow. Let's celebrate our doctor. Wow, huge one there, huge one there. We'd like to thank you very, very much for making this very compelling statement and upfront tonight. And thank God we have it recorded so that we can go over this over and over, make our points, and then just feel at home. Dr. Sambe has made very formidable statement this evening over the issue at stake in broadening our knowledge about the current status and issues round about health. And as the Ebora of psychology, he has brought to the mainstream for everyone how that medical health is no longer sufficient, though very necessary. Wholeness, from societal point of view, is a cascade from the individual to the family, then to the society. What a word there. And that the health of the society is the microcosm of the health of the home. So where we have sick homes, we have sick family, sick individual, sick society. And then as for the individual differences, what a huge one there. And in fact, that brings us to a behavioral cliche that we have in the house, in the Institute of Behavioral Alignment of Nigeria and Cyber Resources. Maybe we can engage ourselves now to just take our cliche and we hang it from there. We have 15 more minutes there about to go. So let's take our cliche. If you can see me, we do our hand this way. So you repeat after me. I must check up from the neck up.
Check up from the neck up.
In order to be good neck down.
In order to be good neck down.
And when I am good neck down,
I
will be great leg forward.
I will be great leg forward.
From today, I will check off from the neck up.
Today, I will check off from the neck up.
In order to be good neck down.
In order to be good leg down.
And when I am good neck down, I will be great leg forward.
I will be great leg forward.
Please clap for yourself, celebrate yourself. Thank you, Prof. A small fry like me making a professor to do the cliche. And that's just the whole essence of it. Body physiology, medical is good. Mind psychology, psychological, behavioral, mental, even the emotional health are all critical variables of our health. So before we entertain questions, let me just add one or two stuff so that we can open the floor for question and answer. The erudite professor is still here. We do not take this opportunity for granted. Professor Ishola Akindele and Dr. Shonola and everyone in the house, on the Facebook, Adola Toluhi, Ugo, Ikone, my own brother there from Port Harcourt. Now, talking about the individual differences, I like to add that there is no one size fits it all. We may have all the therapies, all the strategies, and all of that. But when it comes to treatment in psychotherapy and in other therapy, there is no one size fits it all. Individual differences plays a very huge role in the sense that, one, temperaments differ. The way a choleric will understand, come here, alone, will be different from the way a phlegmatic will take it. Especially when he's in the recessive. Temperaments matter, the melancholy, the choleric, the phlegmatics, and the sanguine. So, and in treating and managing them, I think it is wisdom and professionalism to identify who this my client is by temperament. What the choleric will just feel, oh, that's okay, that's in order. A phlegma, for example, might feel you are overdriving him, that you are treating and handling his case. Does that mean you should not just be gentle, go step by step? You are too far.
Sorry, I don't know what happened.
Why a melancholia will just feel that kind. This man is just for a sanguine. It's just talk. Just talk me through. I can't make sense out of it. No skill demonstrated, and all of that. So, in critical engagement, we do three things in therapy. Either as a psychology, the psychiatrist, the behaviorist, pathologist, you see, we interact and interface in order to intervene. So in interacting, it is so critical we know the personality type of our client. At teaching, at evaluation, at education, at intervention, even at integration, because it's not enough to have the solution and intervention. The way we package it for our clients matters. So individual differences, sir, ma, is key in therapy. And then two personality types also differ. The type A personality, the type B personality, type C, and all of that will also help us to drive home our point quick so that we are not misconstrued, misinterpreted, and misjudged. In the early days of psychology, we were taught that nature, nurture, culture is critical. But beyond that, through research, we have found out that there are 12 basic indicators of individual dynamics. Nature, of course, is one, which we all know. Two, nurture. How do I grow up? What environment did I grow up from? And then culture. What did I come to observe? And all of that. Then number 4, posture. What is my own personal disposition? Because like doctor told us, some children just choose to be different from their parents. Say, no, that's my parents, so I'm different. So forget this DNA thing. Oh, I have my own life to live. They can't dictate for me. And which is true. So posture matters, which is exposure. Then puncture. What are some of those things they felt? No, we belong to the Gen Z. We are not the we are not this 21st century. We are different from our fathers, and we are Gen Zs and the millennials. And you can't take it away from them. Then how about scripture? What do people read? Because what we read dictates how we live. Our thought pattern are gradually being influenced by what we read. What we read gets into our brain, reconfigure our cognitive capacity. And then we look at composure. How do we carry ourselves? Then we look at aperture. What are the windows of opportunity open to us? Depending on where we are and how we grew up. It matters a huge lot. And then the candidature. What are we filing in for? What are our expectations? And last but not the least is temperature. Somebody who is emotionally unstable, you can't trust him for the best of decisions because of the temporary state of instability, emotional dysfunctioning, or emotional bankruptcy, and all of that. They are all part and parcel of the game. So it's so critical that we put this to heart when we are taking up cases and issues, and then to be holistic in our approach. So before,
Doctor.
Yes, sir.
Doctor, before we round up, because the time is going, perhaps we can take 1 or 2 questions and comments.
Yes. So the floor is open for questions and comments, addition, and all that. We are all learning and growing. The floor is open, sir. Prof, over to you, sir. Nobody is muted.
Professor Shotonode. Professor Shotonode.
Okay, Professor
Mrs. Shonola, please talk to us.
We want to hear you, ma.
She's an international educationist.
Wow. Prof.
Yeah.
We're waiting for you, ma.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, Prof.
I appreciate the honor and the title given me. I'm not even a doctor yet.
You're an international educator.
And of course, my background is in guidance and counseling at master's level, but then I particularly decided to connect and share with a lot of people. I'm surprised they are not on time because of the topic. I got interested in it, and I believe that this is a learning curve for me. I've actually learned a lot. And although I'm on duty in Kaduna, I have to come to Kaduna today for the mission work. I'm trying to connect in between. But a lot of what I have heard is like illumination. So I'm looking forward to the other session where I can add more to what I have learned today. So
Thank you so
thank
much.
you so much.
Let me ask you a question, ma. Tell us
Yes.
what is your take home, ma? What is your take home that you want us to take away from you?
Yes, madam.
Well, my take home, the first thing is that we have individual differences. But one thing that really struck me is that aspect that when one individual is sick, maybe the family is also affected. When the family is sick, the society is sick. And that, brings a lot of value in me. And of course, I have had opportunity to support children's learning challenges.
Yes.
And I've observed that, yes, challenges in the family is affecting a lot of our children. I'm a sustainable education advocate, and I know that a lot of dysfunctional families, what is the cause? I believe is some of the things that Dr. Sambe started talking about. So it's something that just struck me, and I say, it's true. When one person is sick, it's going to affect the person. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, ma. Thank you,
Thank
ma.
you so very much.
Dr. Komolafe, I congratulate you for your understanding, sir,
Thank
and
you
accommodation.
So
Yeah.
Thank you.
Prof, Mrs. Shotonode, can you help us add value one way or the other, ma?
Thank you very much, my fellow.
Yeah.
I quite get refreshed this evening. As you started your work, my mind just go to Professor Eben Solayenka at UNILAG. He was the person who took us through this individual difference. And I just said, yes, that was what Baba was saying at that time. So it's quite refreshing. And there are new things that were added that I've learned, even from brother Dr. Komolafe. So, but what was in my mind was the case of the boy that the father did not accept. That is it possible that they arranged DNA for the two of them? Because at least somebody must be father to somebody. So if the man sees the result, maybe he can change his mind. Because I have a sort of empathy for the boy. That
No,
the father does not
he had eventually accepted the boy, but unfortunately the argument back and forth was known to this boy.
It's strong. The mother should not have exposed. Sent us a thing. In Yoruba land,
and even in the eastern side, they say, you bastard,
The
word can be very powerful.
No,
that's right.
A lot.
It's painful.
So, I think the boy will need a lot of realization, needs a lot of realization before he can be himself, gain his self-concept, self-esteem back.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that was why it was presented.
Part of what we be telling parents, that we should know what to say in presence of these children. We should know because of their future. So I quite enjoy myself. So, and I'm happy that I was able to join. So, Thank you very much. And Dr. Komolafe, thank you very much.
Thank you so very much. Except
So
that we cannot
I yield the rest of the time to Dr. Komolafe to moderate or invite other speakers.
Yes, while
I am
we're
seeing Juliana Umezinwa. Is she ready to talk?
can we see Mommy Sotonade's face so that when we see you,
Sotonade, she was the one that spoke now.
the face.
That's the Professor Fumi.
We heard
Sotonade.
the voice, but not the face. We did not see.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So your camera should be on, Prof. That's
Now,
what
when we see
Dr.
Prof somewhere,
Komolafe is
we'll say,
saying.
oh, this is Prof. We won't walk past. Any other contribution, any question as per individual differences and societal health? That's our capstone for today. Know that people are different.
Then, sorry, sir. Don't let us be waned with the size of the participants.
Not at all.
Because we are in Ramadan and Lenten and people are fond of excuses, let us just carry on. It has taken one Jesus the Christ before the Christian will chant Hallelujah, and one Muhammad before Muslims will say Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. So, and one Abacha ruled Nigeria. Thank you, sir.
No wonder you are the Ebora of psychology.
Thank you, sir.
Wow. Thank you so very much, everyone, for participating tonight. I think it's a huge success.
Read our chat, sir.
Okay.
Dr. Komolafe, please read our chats.
Okay, yes. Thank you very much. I have some chats here. Onidamola Shonola, that's the Prof. Well done, sir. And then I want to suggest basic parenting workshop should be run in schools. Wow, which is great. We'll look at that, and on this forum, we'll see what to do to ensure that we run it as well. Because parenting now is a dynamic thing. No longer the analog parenting, but so many things have changed for which parents should also be well aware of. So I'd like to thank everybody for making it a day despite a very tight schedule today. Please be encouraged. We don't actually relate to numbers or so, but we made the point. We'll post this for today, while same time tomorrow, we'll continue again. Thank you, our erudite Professor Mustafa Sambe, Professor Fumi, Auntie Juliana Umezinwa, Dr. Dorcas.
Thank you, sir. Good evening, sir. Thank you,
Everyone.
sir. I really appreciate.
Yeah, appreciated. Thank you so very much. People cannot make it. You will have the replay, and every one of us will have the replay. Take-home lessons. People are different. Health has been broadened and expanded. Thank you very much, and see you tomorrow by 5 p.m.
Thank you, sir.
See you.
Thank you.
See
Bye.
you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
God bless.
Thank you.
Bye. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.